Hello and welcome. I'm Yasmin Ahmed, lecturer at Dadaboy Institute of Higher Education. Today we are going to talk about Autism Spectrum Disorder (ASD). Globally, 2nd April is recognized as World Autism Awareness Day. Autism spectrum disorder mainly comprises of communication and behavioral problem. The symptoms mainly appear in the first 2 years of life, thus it is known as development disorder. Autism spectrum disorder include broad range of conditions affecting social skills, behavioral disturbances, repetitive, speech issues, and nonverbal communication problems. American Psychiatric Association (APA) in 2013 has identified many other disorders having same symptoms as autism. Some of them are autistic disorder, childhood disintegrative disorder, pervasive development disorder not otherwise specified, and Asperger syndrome. That is why all of them are categorized as autism spectrum disorder. Now I will tell you how Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder DSM-5 defines autism. The following characteristics have been identified, which are difficulty with communication and interaction with other people, restricted interest and repetitive behavior, symptoms that hurt the person's ability to function properly in a school, work, and other areas of life. Prominent issues manifested among autistic children are not paying attention, making no eye contact, trouble in obeying instructions of listening to others, unusual voice tone, facial expression not corroborating with actions, having own world without considering others, not responding to others, repetitive behavior and sleep disturbances also observed. Now, the most important question is what causes autism among the loved ones? Unfortunately, exact cause of the autism spectrum disorder is not yet known, but some of the risk factors contributing towards having autistic children are sibling with ASD symptoms, children born with older parents, certain genetic disorder predisposes children to having autism, such as Down syndrome, Fragile X syndrome, and Rett syndrome. However, lower birth weight also sometimes becomes the cause of autism. The prevalence of autism spectrum disorder according to World Health Organization is every one child in 160 children suffer with ASD. It begins in childhood but even continue during adolescent and even adulthood. Sufferer can live independently. However, in severe cases, care and support is needed. The sad part is, globally, there is stigma towards people with ASD disorder, and even human rights violation issues are also reported. The prevalence of autism in Pakistan is quite alarming. 1 out of every 66 children is having autism issue, and this prevalence is increasing. According to Autism Resource Center, Rawalpindi, 350,000 autistic children are present in our society. Unfortunately, no professional help is provided to such children. Rather, we burden them more by thinking that they are either weak in studies or are introvert by nature, thus forcing them accordingly. Let's talk about treatment of autism spectrum disorder. This disorder is highly stratified among the sufferer. As the symptoms are really broad, so no single treatment is available. Rather, the treatment is based on symptoms an individual is manifesting. There is no cure for autism. However, medication help in overcoming several symptoms of the children suffering with autism spectrum disorder, including anxiety and depression, hyperactivity issues, control of irritability and repetitive behavior, and issues with attention to instructions. There are various alternative treatment for ASD as well, such as educational, psychological, and behavioral. While talking about educational treatment, it is worth mentioning that parents should be educated first. Autistic students should be sent to special education schools as they need more attention. Psychological treatment includes the whole society's behavior. Society as a whole and parents in particular should not take it as taboo. Rather, we should work on inclusiveness to ensure positive growth of autistic children. And while behavioral treatment is concerned, there is ongoing scientific effort such as special schools and various programs. Here are some important scientific updates in autism spectrum disorder research. The prevalence of autism continued to increase according to various research conducted during 2018. It seems autism is no longer a rare disorder. According to a recent research, the prevalence of ASD in United States is relatively high and it varied substantially across US states. Almost 30% of US children with ASD did not receive behavioral or medication treatment. Another report states that the overall ASD prevalence estimate of 16.8 per 1,000 children aged 8 years in 2014 is higher than previously reported estimates from the Autism and Development Disabilities Monitoring (ADDM) network. According to third report, the estimated prevalence of US children with the parent-reported ASD diagnosis is now 1 in 40, with rates of ASD-specific treatment usage varying by children's socio-demographic and co-occurring conditions. According to a research conducted in 2018, the changes in non-coding region of genetic material can cause autism. As you know, DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, is the genetic material. Only 2% of the DNA form proteins needed for various functions of human body. Rest of 98% is called the non-coding DNA, not forming any protein. It has been observed that duplication or deletion of genetic material in the non-coding region is associated with autism spectrum disorder. Another research highlights the commonality of molecular changes of autism spectrum disorder with other diseases. At molecular level, autism, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia have similar molecular changes in the brain. Major molecular changes are reduced expression of genes involved in connectivity mechanism of cognitive functioning, and elevated expression of genes related to brain immunological systems. Another study conducted during 2018 states that it is extremely important that expecting mothers should be looked after very well and they should be in good health for avoiding autism, as expecting mother illnesses and infections predisposes children to autism spectrum disorders. There is another scientific study which is emphasizing on educational program for autistic children parents. There should be various behavioral management trainings of parents of autistic children, particularly if the autistic child has repetitive disruptive behavior. I would like to share with you another scientific research conducted during 2018 about autistic children with folate absorption deficiency. Folinic acid helps in improving verbal communication skills of autistic children having issues with folate absorption deficiency. I will sum up this presentation with some recommendations to Pakistani government which are applicable to other countries as well, such as strengthening autism research, educational programs for parents having autistic children, schooling system for autistic children, improving health system for pregnant mothers. Thank you for your valuable time. Let's join hands together to help those who are suffering. This is a small initiative by Dada Boy Institute of Higher Education to let people know that we are together as a community.